Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. I am Sarah of Horror. You can find me everywhere on Sarah of Horror, and on my channel I review movies, TV shows, and other things I find interesting to talk about. So if that's your thing, hit the subscribe button. But yes, today we are here to talk about a movie that a lot of people have been talking about. And I thought since it's February, we have Valentine's coming up in a few weeks. February is the month of love, and I thought, what better way to start off the month of love than by reviewing Nosferatu? And yes, I'm not talking about the Nosferatu from 1922, made by Friedrich Wilhelm Murnau. I'm talking about the new Nosferatu. Nosferatu has always held a special place in my heart. I used to watch a lot of silent films when I was younger, as a teenager. I got this book like 1001 movies you have to watch before you die, and when I was like 12 or something, and I tried to go through all of them as quickly as I could. So, I watched a lot of silent films, a lot of classics at a really early age. And I noticed that I really loved silent films, especially the ones that came during the German Expressionism era. And I've talked about the German Expressionism era on my channel before, and also reviewed movies from the German Expressionism era, like Nosferatu, of course, and The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari, among a few. So you can check that out on my channel as well. But yeah, so when I heard that a new Nosferatu was coming, I was excited, but I was also a little bit skeptic. Maybe because I love the original Nosferatu so much, but I was happy to hear that Bill Skarsgård was gonna be in it, Lily Rose Depp, which I had seen in a few things before, like The Idol and a few movies. And so I was a little bit skeptic there. And also we had some other great actors, which I will talk about soon. But my expectations, I really didn't have a lot of expectations. The one thing that I knew about the film before even, watching it, before even seeing anything, was that it was gonna be gorgeous. It was gonna be a really stylish gothic tale. And Robert Eggers, his movies, they have a certain style, certain vibe, and I knew that he would pull this off. If the movie would be bad, at least he would pull that off. I was very excited to watch the film. And of course, I just love the name Nosferatu. And Nosferatu from 1922 is the first unauthorized cinematic adaptation of Bram Stoker's novel from 1897, Dracula. And, they couldn't get the rights to properly adapt the film, so that is why they changed a lot of the names of the characters. We don't have Dracula, we have Count Orlok, we have the Hutters, and yeah, you get the gist. But yeah, I just love the name Nosferatu, and the original has such a huge place in my heart. But yeah, let's get down to talking about the new one, Nosferatu, from 2024, directed by Robert Eggers, starring Lily Rose Depp, Nicholas Hoult, Bill Skarsgård, Aaron Taylor Johnson, Willem Dafoe, and Emma Corrin. In this one, we are introduced to the Hutters, Ellen and Thomas Hutter. They are newlyweds, and Thomas Hutter is trying to find a good job to provide for his wife and give her everything she has ever dreamed of course. So he goes to his job, and then he hears that this Count Orlok, wants to buy some real estate in Germany where they currently live. So he gets sent to Count Orlok's castle to personally get the deal made, to get him to sign the contract, to get his house ready and everything. At first he's, a little bit hesitant, like why can't this count come here? But but then he's sent away. But Ellen, she has this strange feeling that something will go wrong. She doesn't want him to go, but he goes because he there will be good money in this. So he goes to Count Orlok's castle, but something goes terribly wrong. I mean, we've heard this tale and story many times before in a lot of adaptations of the vampire, of Dracula. In this case, Count Orlok. But the first thing that I saw with this film was that it's gorgeous. It's the colors, like the dark blue, the black, like the fogginess, like everything is, as I said, a gothic horror fairy tale. And I just love that. I mean, I love the look of the silent film Nosferatu. Of course, that was over 100 years ago. They didn't have access to some of the, techniques that we can do today. Nosferatu is gorgeous, and every shot is almost like perfection, like cinematography wise. I was just very amazed, and I was just in love with how the film looked. And then we meet the characters, we get to know them. I mean, we've met them a few times in different vampire movies. I have to say that Lily Rose Depp, she did an amazing job in this one. She was so good. She acted her heart out. Like, I was mesmerized when she was on screen. I have to say that I think a lot of the actors acted so good. Like they gave their soul into their acting. But I have to say that the one person that stood out the most was actually Willem Dafoe and his character. I mean, his character was like funny. I don't know if it was intentional, but maybe not. But I laughed a lot at some of his actions and dialogue, and yeah, he stole the show, I have to say. He really stole the show. And of course, then we have to talk about Count Orlok himself. Because there haven't been released, like before the film came out, the look of Orlok. Because if you remember, in the old Nosferatu, Count Orlok had a very specific look. And I have to say that Max Schreck, the actor who played Count Orlok in the original, that look, that vampire look, is still my favorite vampire look to this day. But I think Bill Skarsgård's look, or his Count Orlok, was really good as well. I liked the look. Like, it took me a little while to warm up to the look, to be like, okay, it works. At first I was like, okay, interesting. Need to see more before I make a decision. But towards the end, especially towards the end, I liked the look. I thought it was good, creative. The makeup was good, especially the hands, the nails, and also like the eyes, the intensity. I think Bill Skarsgård did a really amazing job. And also I liked his deep, deep voice. That was very protrudent and just so dominant. And I mean, in this case that was the point. But wow, I think he really pulled it off really well. As I said, the cinematography, there were a lot of amazing nods and homage to the silent film era, the German Expressionism era, especially with shadows and things like that. We have like shadows from hands moving through city, moving on walls, and those movements were gorgeous. Those camera movements, wow. I was sitting in the cinema and just wow. I want to make films like this. Like, wow. Yeah. Like, ever since I was a young teenager, watching these movies from, Nosferatu, the Cabinet of Dr. Caligari, always wanted to make like a movie that's kind of like silent filmish type in the style and vibe and cinematography, and also mixed with like this gothic look. And oh, maybe someday. So I like that they do an homage to the original, of course, and that they kind of respect that film and everything what that was about at the time. So I'm really happy with the way Robert Eggers directed the film in almost every aspect. I would still say that the original is better in my opinion, but I think it's hard to make a better Nosferatu because the original Nosferatu is perfect in my eyes. I understand if you maybe don't like Nosferatu or silent films at all. I understand. Not everyone is gonna like those type of movies, but yeah, I do a lot. And I still have to say the old Nosferatu gets the highest grade for me. But I was very impressed with this one. I wasn't bored at all. I was just taken in by everything in this film. Would I rank it as high as I did the original Nosferatu? No, but I still like it a lot. And also, I don't want to spoil too much, but there was one point in the film that gave me like necromantic feels. You know, from the movie from Jörg Buttgereit's necromantic movies. Yeah, there was like one shot, just style vibe. I was like, this feels like a necromantic movie. I don't know why. That was probably not intentional at all. But yeah, so I was like, I like that. And also there were like really amazing shots of contrast, like between the dark blue, the nights, the fogginess, and then the cut was directly to like a yellow, more warm, saturated tone. And oh, it was so good. The contrast just worked so well. So yeah, the craftsmanship in this film, that's definitely 10 out of 10. Like the way it looked, the style, just yeah, technically 10 out of 10 for me. But I have to rate the movie as a whole, not just on how the movie is made. Also, how it made me feel, and yeah, as I said, I was taken by it. Even though I know the story so well by now, if you retell a story that's been told so many times, but just in an interesting way, you can still have me drawn in despite kind of knowing the characters, kind of knowing the story, the situation, almost what's gonna happen. As I said, I wasn't bored. I liked the film. Even though it's like 2 hours, 12 minutes, I think, it didn't really feel too long, and I would love to see it again. So this one is definitely going into my collection. I have the original one, of course, as well, and I rewatch that one every year. So, what do I give the new Nosferatu? I'm giving it a 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10 for Nosferatu. As I said, I really like the film. I know a lot of people do not like the film at all. And I mean, I can understand if that's not your thing. But I really like the film. And I'm definitely watching it again at some point. And yeah, here's my little undead friend. Hi, Butler. I think you would love Nosferatu as well. Yeah, thank you so much for watching my review of Nosferatu. And don't forget to give this video a like, comment a vampire for the algorithm, and if you haven't subscribed, please do. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.